them again tonight. The first sound was the same as always, a soft creak from the hallway, like someone testing their weight on old floorboards. I'd been lying in bed for an hour, staring at the ceiling when it started. My body went rigid beneath the sheets. The farmhouse had been in my family for 3 generations. When my grandmother died last spring, she left it to me. "You always loved it here," she'd said during her final days in the hospital. "You'll take care of it." I moved in 6 weeks ago. The isolation felt comforting at first. 2 miles from the nearest neighbour, surrounded by empty fields and dense woods. No traffic sounds, no voices, just wind and birds and the settling of old wood. But the house makes other sounds now. I held my breath, listening. The creak came again, closer this time. Definitely footsteps, slow and deliberate, like someone who didn't want to be heard, but couldn't help the betrayal of ancient floors. My phone sat in the nightstand, fully charged. I could call 911, but what would I say? That I heard footsteps? They'd ask if my doors were locked. They were. They'd ask if I'd seen anyone. I hadn't. Not yet. The footsteps stopped outside my bedroom door. I stared at the thin line of darkness beneath it, watching for shadows, for movement. My heart hammered so hard, I was certain they could hear it through the wood. Then, a whisper. I couldn't make out words, just the sibilant sound of someone speaking softly, almost like they were conferring with someone else, planning. How many of them were out there? The door handle turned. I watched it rotate slowly in the moonlight streaming through my window. A full rotation, testing. But the lock held. I'd started locking my bedroom door 3 nights ago, after the first time I heard them. The handle returned to its resting position. Silence. I waited, muscles aching from tension, barely breathing. Minutes passed. 5, 10. Finally, I heard footsteps retreating down the hallway, back toward the stairs. I knew I should run, get in my car and drive until I hit the highway. Call the police from a gas station, somewhere with lights and people and safety. But a part of me couldn't shake the feeling that this was exactly what they wanted. To flush me out. To make me leave the relative safety of my locked room and venture into those dark hallways where they were waiting. So I stayed. At 3:47 a.m., I heard the back door open. The hinges squeaked, a sound I'd been meaning to oil but kept forgetting. Now I was grateful for it. At least I knew when they were coming and going. Going. The thought should have comforted me, but it didn't. Because they'd be back. They always came back. This had been happening for 2 weeks. It started small. Objects moved from where I'd left them. A coffee mug on the wrong counter. My keys on the dining table instead of the hook by the door. I blamed my own distraction, the stress of the move. Then I started finding muddy footprints. Not coming from the doors. I checked those first, made sure they were locked every night. The prints just appeared, as if materializing from nothing. Different sizes. Multiple people had been walking through my house while I slept. Last week, I woke to find someone had been in my kitchen. The refrigerator door hung open, casting cold light across the tile floor. A plate sat on the counter with crumbs and the smear of peanut butter. I lived alone. I hadn't eaten peanut butter in years. I called the police that morning. Officer Brennan came out, a weary man in his 50s, who clearly thought I was wasting his time. He walked through the house, checked the locks, found no signs of forced entry. Old houses make noises, he said, especially out here. Lots of settling, animals in the walls. Your imagination plays tricks. But imagination doesn't leave muddy footprints. Maybe you're sleepwalking, he suggested. Stress can do that. Moving into a new place, living alone. Your mind plays games. I didn't tell him about the whispers, about the doorknob turning. He already thought I was crazy. Tonight felt different though, more aggressive. They'd never tried my bedroom door before. I sat up in bed, watching the window. The moon was full, casting silver light across the fields. Everything outside looked peaceful, empty. But I knew they were out there, in the trees, in the barn, waiting for tomorrow night. I couldn't keep living like this. Couldn't keep spending every night terrified, waiting for footsteps and whispers and the slow turn of doorknobs. I got out of bed and walked to my dresser. In the bottom drawer, beneath folded sweaters, I found what I was looking for. The leather journal my grandmother had left me with the house. I'd only glanced at it before. Her handwriting was shaky toward the end, hard to read. But now I opened it to the last entry, dated 3 days before she died. The house knows I'm leaving. They've started coming every night now. I can hear them downstairs, opening cabinets, walking through rooms. Sometimes they whisper my name. After 70 years here, they finally understand I won't be coming back. I should have told someone, should have warned them, but who would believe me? Emily will inherit the house. Sweet Emily, who spent every summer here as a child. She loved this place so much. I'm sorry, darling. I'm so sorry. But the house needed someone. It's been in the family too long to let go now. The walls remember us. The floors know our footsteps. And when we leave, we don't really leave at all. The journal trembled in my hands. I walked to the window and looked out at the moonlit fields, at the dark line of trees beyond. And then I saw her, standing in the yard, looking up at my window. My grandmother. She was wearing the blue dress she'd been buried in. Her face was grey in the moonlight, but her expression was apologetic, sad. Behind her, other figures emerged from the shadows. My grandfather, who died when I was 12. My great-aunt Martha. Cousins I barely remembered. All of them had lived in this house. All of them had died. And now they were coming home. I understood then, with a clarity that made my blood run cold. The footsteps I'd been hearing, the whispers, the doorknob turning, they weren't intruders at all. They were family, and they were trying to tell me something my grandmother had learned too late. The house doesn't let you go. Even death isn't an exit. I looked down at my hands, and in the moonlight I could see through them, just barely. A faint translucence I'd been ignoring, explaining away. The car accident. 6 weeks ago, on my way to move into the house. The funeral I thought I'd attended. No, the funeral for me. I wasn't living in my grandmother's house. I was haunting it. And now, every night, I walked these halls. Left footprints, moved objects, tried doorknobs, desperate to connect with the living person sleeping in what used to be my room. The young woman who'd inherited the house after I died. My sister. Outside, my grandmother beckoned to me. The others gathered around her, waiting. It was time to stop trying to break back in. Time to accept what I was. I walked through my bedroom door without opening it and descended the stairs. Together, we disappeared into the woods behind the house, to wherever it is that ghosts go when they finally understand they're already home.